Ginika, let's continue with the conversation. We have another notable stakeholder from that local government joining us this morning. The former DSS Director of Operations. He doubles as the chairman of Flow 94.9 FM, Chief Raymond Nkemdirim. Good morning to you, Chief.
Good morning.
You're welcome on the platform, Ginika.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, sir, Chief. In 2017, I can remember vividly that there was a security summit in Isuikwuato where you, as a guest lecturer, you actually highlighted some of the challenges. But today, it appears like that matter has gone out of hand. Can you share with us the particular security situation?
Well, thank you. You mentioned the security summit we held on the 11th of November 2017. Now, I presented the lead paper at that summit, and I noted that this phenomenon of headsmen, though at that time it had not gotten as bad as it is today, I had cautioned that extra vigilance must be ensured to rid the Isuikwuato community of any illegal settlement that may serve as breeding ground for potential conflict. Now, I think that must have been a prophecy, and it has come to pass. It's only important now that we begin to take a second look at that paper, the recommendations that were contained therein, chief among which was the setting up of a security trust fund. Yes, the problems in Isuikwuato have been identified long before now. But then we shouldn't just stop there. It is important that as much as government has the responsibility to provide security for the people of this country, that we also as responsible citizens should do what we can to assist government in ensuring that we enhance the security of our respective areas. So I'm looking forward that in the short run, in spite of what the security agencies will be doing, that we also as a people, galvanized by the efforts of the Isuikwuato Development Union, will be able to bring our various vigilante groups together to comb the bushes to get these people out of our territory. If need be, roads that are very bushy, that provide ready cover for these bandits, we should come out as a people, burn or clear those bushes to ensure that we provide no hiding places for them. But I'm looking for, like I said, in the short run, for an assembly of the Isuikwuato people, which I believe is in the offing, where we'll all sit and take steps to bring the situation under control.
Interestingly, some of these issues have been identified in that summit, but unfortunately, we have a spike that you also agreed with. What factors may have led to the spike?
Yeah, like I said, we identified the problems in the area long before now, 2017, and nothing actually has been done to follow up. I noted when in opening this program you mentioned that yes, Isuikwuato is a land of generals. We have a lot of security resource. Excellent. That was why we came out early enough to say this is the direction to go. So now, like you heard from the former Chief of Army Staff, effort is being made with the security agencies to ensure that we bring down this spike. You described it. Additionally, the community is also getting its act together to ensure that the youth are mobilized in a collective effort to ensure that we rid the community of the bandits.
Now we have issues with the security operatives being overwhelmed, especially the Nigeria Police Force. Now, the governors in the southeast are having issues concerning regional policing. In fact, that led to the southwestern part of the country having Amotekun. What do you think will be the way forward with the overwhelmed security outfit that we have in the country, which is affecting the rising wave of crime in even all parts of the country presently?
Well, until recently, I was the secretary of the Southeast Security Committee set up by the Southeast governors to evolve a forum where the Southeast could collectively tackle security challenges. So I know that an effort is being made to ensure that just like we have Moteku, something is done also in the Southeast to pool resources together to ensure that we combat the menace we are having here. Like, for instance, they have a formally established forest guard which polices the forest in that state, and every other state, for instance, in the Southeast, was supposed to set up a forest guard. And then they would have a central command. I believe General Umahi is still the chairman of that committee. And I want to believe that the shortest possible time, they will get their acts together and we'll begin to see the result of that effort.
Chief Raymond Nkemdirim, thank you very much for your time on this special edition of the program, The Platform.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So let's the conversation begin. We're starting with former Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Isuikwuato Ihejirika, and he's joining us virtually this morning. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning.
You're welcome to the platform on Flow 94.9 FM.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, sir. The Isuikwuato has a military formation. Let's start with that. The one that we have in Ovim and another one in Alhafia. However, from your experience as a military officer, how did we get to this point, in your own mind?
Well, the kidnapping saga in Isuikwuato general area was facilitated by the very bad portions of all the roads leading to Isuikwuato. So the bandits capitalized on this to ambush commuters, and in the process they have kidnapped a number of people and collected ransoms. Of course, so sad that someone was shot dead a few days ago.
All right, sir. Many persons, you mentioned bandit, and many persons are asking, is it related to the issue of killer herdsmen allegedly ravaging some parts of the country, and the tension between farmers and herders? Is it related to the issue we have presently in the local government?
Well, let me first correct an impression. My experience tells me that there is nothing like killer herdsmen. There are bandits, there are herdsmen. Herdsmen will not leave their cows and embark on killing of people. Their business is cow rearing. The bandits that we know today happen to have embarked in what is called cattle rustling. They attack herdsmen, steal their cows, but along the line, the herdsmen became more organized. So organized that even when they steal their cows, it becomes difficult for them to sell those cows. So these bandits or cattle rustlers then shifted business to that of kidnapping for ransom, which is currently their business. The only thing one can say is that they also follow cattle routes. And this is why when they kidnap, they use those routes to disappear as fast as possible into the forest and into hidden places from where they demand ransoms.
Okay, sir. So many people, especially residents of Isuikwuato, will also want to know what the ex-top security chiefs from that area, what they are actually doing to stem the tide.
Yes, I'm in Abuja as we speak. And part of the main reason for this trip is to discuss with the heads of security agencies to alert them of what the situation on ground is. But before now, I've had lengthy discussion with the Commissioner of Police, and we have worked out some strategy. I've given some advice, which she is taking very seriously. And I'm happy with the action she has taken in the last few days. It's unfortunate that this kidnapping lingered for so long until a life was lost. But again, it's a problem that if current effort is sustained, would be addressed in few days' time. And of course, if they are tackled around the Isuikwuato, they will shift base. So some of the recommendations I'm going to make, which I cannot do publicly here, is towards finding lasting solutions. But one that I can say here now is that Abia government should embark on massive repair of the bad spots, if not the whole routes, which I know resources may not permit. They should address all the bad portions, not just towards the Isuikwuato, but to all the local governments of Abia State. Local governments must be connected with motorable roads. So, bad roads, portions of roads, force motorists to slow down and begin to crawl at snail speed, giving these criminals time and chance to jump out of the bush and attack commuters.
Interesting. Can you help us profile an herdsman and, of course, how we can identify a bandit? It's been misinterpreted by the members of the public.
Yes, part of the problem we have in managing security in this country is that we embark on profiling. When the kidnappers elsewhere in Abia and the Aba environs in particular, nobody called them Igbo kidnappers. So, by the time you profile and attach ethnicity to crime, you make the work of the security agencies very difficult. You give the criminals some political cover. So this is one area we must be mindful. A criminal is a criminal, and no matter his or her ethnicity. And one thing we must also note is that no set of bandits will operate successfully and for a long period without collaboration of the locals. So the investigation and effort will also involve looking inwards.
Interestingly, just before we let you go this morning, after you retired as the former chief of army staff, you've stayed at home and you have an idea the relationship between the farmers and the herdsmen plying their trade in Isuikwuato local government. What has been the relationship? How has the relationship been?
Well, we have not had major crises in Isuikwuato between farmers and herders. Occasionally, some herders shepherd their cows and then their cattle into some farms and destroy crops. The few cases are when such cases occur, they are usually settled at the local government level. But again, I advise farmers to farm collectively, not to farm in parcels deep inside forests in small portions. They should farm in a cooperative manner in such a way that the farms will be visible even from a distance, and it will ensure that at any point in time, at least there will be one or two farmers within the area. And again, herders farmers clashes are quite avoidable because to start with, the herders are organized. They have leaders that can be reached. So if any farm is trampled upon, their leaders could be made to pay appropriate reparation.
Interesting. We want to appreciate your time this morning on the special edition of the platform. Retired Lieutenant General Ihejirika, former Chief of Army Staff. Thank you very much for speaking to us.
Thank you, and God bless.
Let's connect with former Assistant Inspector General of Police, Donald Iroham, this morning on the program, and let's look at the porous border, especially as highlighted by Chief Raymond Nkemdirim. I think we have him connected now. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning.
You're welcome. You're live on Flow 94.9 FM, and it is the platform.
Yeah, what did you say?
You're live on Flow 94.9 FM, and it is the platform. And we're looking at the rising wave of crime in Isuikwuato local government area of Abia State.
All right, sir. We want to know how much of impact is the porous borders of Isuikwuato pose to the security of this area?
Yeah, good morning. Yeah, well, there's no certainty as to the porosity of borders, as you claim now. From all indications, you have pockets of attacks by criminals and so on and so forth. But what we have to look at is how do we face the challenges, the present and the current challenges in Isuikwuato in terms of security. You know, I don't know about porous borders, because to all intents and purposes, everywhere is porous. Everywhere could also be tight. In Nigeria, we don't really have borders that are tight in terms of security. So Isuikwuato will not be an isolated case. That is the way I look at it.
Interesting. Now, the activities of the police force, despite these issues we're having, we have a very volatile security situation in the country as it stands now, as you've pointed out. But we're expecting that the police force should be able to take care of the situation. We have police posts in all the local government, Isuikwuato not excluded. Why, despite the availability of these police posts, we still have these crimes on the increase on a daily? What do you think is the problem?
Yeah, thank you very much. I have been in touch with the Commissioner of Police, because there have been a series of video what do you call it, skits on this issue. People have been making comments. You know, now people publish whatever they like, and also one guy went ahead to indict retired and serving officers, you know, of the from that area, you know, which I look at it as blackmail. In any case, we have been engaging authorities, you know, in regard to this, and the Commissioner of Police has assured me, for this morning I received a message from her that she has been in touch with the governor, and then there's something going to be done about the whole situation. You see, if you look at the general security architecture in Nigeria, you will discover that Boko Haram has been in existence for how many years now? We know that. And we have a mighty Nigerian army. So it depends on the will to perform. If we elect governors, for example, in either state, and he comes out and says, no, enough is enough. Like the one in Ondo State who said, look, we want all the so-called herdsmen in the forest to disappear. Then you see it should be table and everywhere was shaking. Let us stop sugarcoating some of these things, because they are real. The idea of desert encroachment is real. People are moving from the Sahel, you know, from the fringes of the desert, from Libya, from Niger, from Chad, and so on, and they are all heading to Nigeria. They are looking for new homes. Fulanis are wanderers, and we know that. So why come whenever you have Fulani herdsmen, you have bandits? Well, do they go hand in hand, or are the bandits different from the Fulanis? Unless there's a dichotomy between these things, let us separate the chaff from the real thing, because we have to stop sugarcoating. Let us call a spade a spade. We have danger before us, and we must sit down to tackle this danger. What do we do? Well, the police, if they're overwhelmed, I'm sorry, I don't know about that. If they're overwhelmed, or maybe the will to fight is not there, but I know that with the Commissioner of Police I have there, that she should be ready to tackle this in head on, and they have been doing something about it. In fact, from all indications, we know that from intelligence that there are maybe there are local collaborators with some of these strangers who are streaming in from outside our state. You know, but I won't go more than that. But I know that something is being done about it.
Okay.
Within 2 or 3 weeks, I believe that we're going to have results.
So, are you linking the rise in crime in Isuikwuato to herdsmen or bandit? Is there a connection?
There are so many connections. See, you have jobless youth all over the place. There are no industries in Abia State. Everybody's talking about what they do in Abia State is politics. Whenever I come to Abia, sometimes I get irritated, because the whole business in Abia State is politics. A little child is talking about politics. Who is going to win? Is it APC? Is it PDP? That is not the issue. If you are elected as a rep of the people, you have to deliver the goods. You have to sit down, work up a template use, to fight crime. If there's no security, there can be development, definitely. You see? So, the insecurity in Isuikwuato, yes, it's part of it. It's like a lot of people are coming from outside. People are running away from the desert and coming to my areas. The youth are jobless. They are looking for jobs. And then, the saying that they say the idle man is the devil's workshop. So there are a lot of things, but a child who is brought up well would not even take to crime, even if crime beckons, So these are the issues, my brother. These are the issues, and I hope we'll get around it somehow.
All right, sir. So many people are of the opinion that the Nigerian police force and other security agencies are overstretched as it stands today across the nation. Do you think many people also are calling for community policing? Do you think community policing can complement the effort of the Nigerian police force and other security agencies?
Yeah, community policing is good, but we have been telling them, see, you cannot have community policing, work effectively, in a situation where the police is not well funded. And then two, you have a national force in a federal system. There is no country in the world that operates a federalism that has a national force, centralized police force. The police force has to be decentralized. Police is local. Policing is local. Because I served in Katsina as a police officer. I don't know the terrain. I don't know the play. I don't speak the language. And I have been to Kankara where they kidnapped some boys last time, according to the allegation. But you cannot fit in very well there if you're not a local. But you see a lot of people, they are clamoring to come to our area, to police, to become soldiers in our area and so on, for reasons best known to them. Policing is local. They should centralize the police force. And then because even the Nigerian Federation is only a name. It's not a true federation. That's why you have all this clamor. People want to win elections at the federal level and so on and so on. I just laugh at them. With the structure we have, we continue to have these problems. Even if that road now, that road at Akole, linking Akara and so on is fixed, the criminals will also devise new methods of attacking the people. They're not necessarily for us. But I believe that the police will wake up to its responsibilities and then do something there. Or the governor can even set up build a training school there or a barracks or something around that area. There are many ways of solving these things if we have the will to do it. But the will is lacking in most times. That's the problem we're having.
Okay, like you talked about the issue of decentralization of the police force and all that. Do you think engaging the locals by the police can also have, say, in a form of a town hall or, talking to them from time to time to volunteer information, to aid their intelligence?
Yeah. Intelligence gathering is key to solving some of these issues. If we have police community relations committees in all police divisions. I don't know how functional and effective they are these days, but because the traditional rulers, important personalities within that community are supposed to be members of the committee, and then every week or every month they discuss issues of security in the area, and so on and so forth. Then people should also be very willing and able to disclose or to volunteer information to the security agencies. There are what do you call it? There are public complaints commission in the police PMB 22. They can always reach out to the commissioner of police without even indicating their names and so on. I say these are the issues happening around here. The DPO should also wake up. DPO of the area should also wake up. But you discover that most stations are not well equipped. The vehicles are not there. The men are not. They are very few in number. They cannot even respond to distress calls. As and when due, and so on and so forth. There are so many issues, that we tackled. So, but if the people can volunteer information, it will help. It will help. If you call it some of us who are even out of service, we can always pass this on to the appropriate authorities. Because somebody was saying already that unless a prominent person is shot there before the government will wake up, that is the blackmail. You don't have to wait until something goes wrong or a prominent individual is killed before government will take action. No. Let us solve the problem now and nip it in the bud.
Interesting. I want us to domesticate this discussion. What do you think about community policing, the use of local vigilante to fish out some of these criminals? Police fine, they are doing a good job, they may not know the locality. They may not be conversant with the nooks and crannies in Isuikwuato local government. What do you make of this, sir?
Fantastic. Absolutely. That is why you have the Amotekun and so in the West. If policing is local, when the local people collaborate with the police officers who are willing to work, they collaborate with them. They know the nooks and crannies of all the communities. You can effectively, checkmate the excesses of these criminals, because they didn't drop from heaven. They move some distance in the bush and so on. So when they can be intercepted, we can know where their bases are. Police, they have helicopters and so on. Look, we have to invest. These things are very simple things that can be solved easily, but because we don't have the way to do it. So I like the idea of having volunteers, of having a vigilante men working in liaison with the police force. That is the way to go.
Now,
as long as
the fear here, if we can adopt the use of local vigilante, the fear here is the proliferation of arms, taking off of arms by sometimes untrained officials, personnel of these local vigilante services, and set up by the development union of some of the communities.
Yeah. You see, why is the crime at its lowest ebb in Anambra State today? Our Commissioner of Police in Anambra. The idea of vigilante, of this Anambra vigilante service was mooted, and something was passed in the House of Assembly. The local House, they have the power to do that. People can bear hunting rifles and so on. People do that in many states of the Federation. If herdsmen carry AK-47 rifle, what stops somebody from from carrying actual gun? Why do we have to be? Why do we have to be so selective about these things? So the security you can have for yourself is the best. You cannot stay in your house and then somebody will come and knock on your door and say, "Come out, bring all your stuff. We are thieves." And you start shaking like a dry leaf on top of a tree, and then you surrender your homestead to a hoodlum. That must stop. We must do something about it. We must do something about it.
All right, interesting. Thank you very much, former Assistant Inspector General of Police, retired Donald Iroham. Thank you very much. We do appreciate you and your contribution this morning. And hopefully we will get beyond this, and we will be talking about developmental issues in Isuikwuato local government area.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much. Well, good morning to you, Navy Captain retired Christopher Osondu. Glad to have you join us on this conversation this morning on Flow 94.9 FM.
Thank you for having me. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, sir, welcome. Now, let us look at the issue we are talking about. That is the way forward to solving security situation in Isuikwuato. Of course, you know that we have series of criminality going on in that community, talking about banditry, kidnapping, rape, and the rest of them. What do you think should be the way forward to addressing these particular issues?
Well, my opinion, and thank you for having me, my opinion is that the way forward, looking at all the regulations and laws that have been enacted both at the state and federal level, they should go for enforcement. But like he said in the military, there is need to have boots on the ground. That's to step up the activities of the homegrown vigilante services, such that there is no inch of land that will be left as a virgin forest for people to go and stay and there and start hatching all the evil plans like kidnapping and raping people and banditry. That's my own immediate homegrown solution to it. Obeying all the laws enacted, and then putting the vigilantes to make sure that every inch of our forests are used for the service of the people.
All right. We want you to help us categorize bandits because the last time we spoke with to your colleagues, some of them mentioned, I said, the Fulanis might not necessarily be bandits, but it's unfortunate that where they operate, we also find Fulanis operating in that route, and it's unfortunate that some of them they've been infiltrated by bandits also. So help us categorize those that are committing the crimes in Isuikwuato, especially the kidnapping along that axis, the Akara Apsu Road.
Well, the problem with kidnapping in Isuikwuato, and it's not been our problem before now. And let me say that when these kidnappings happen, people generally say headsmen and all that. We don't want to use that. We don't want to even use Fulani or a particular tribe. But the point is, these people cannot operate without some locals being part of the system, because they give them information and all that. And what we have done, because I've lived in Isuikwuato since my retirement, and we have noted that it's only at this time, because of the activities of this, some of these headsmen collaborate with their kids and kin, who are who have easy access to weapons and all that, and then co-opt some of our people, because most of the people we have are widely traveled and all that. So some of them can speak their language. And once a man speaks your language, you tend to assist him in whatever he wants to do, whether negative or positive. So it's not surprising that we have some of our people. But I am talking, what our problem is, it's not headsmen as per cows in the grasslands or something like that, but it's those who commit these atrocities, kidnapping and all that. We've not had, even when kidnapping was very high in this place, we didn't have any issues around our place. Not until now that we have these issues of these Fulani and headsmen and all that. But it's generally difficult to categorize and say Fulani or something, because when you have maybe one or two Fulani men with 3 or 4 Isuikwuato people joining them, then you have a problem of categorizing, say, Fulani. But I think they are emboldened because of this general situation in the whole country. And that's where it worries people like me.
Okay, sir. Now, can you tell us how we can deal with this issue of the accomplices we have in Isuikwuato community who aid these kidnappers or bandits, as it were, today? How are we going to address that particular issue? Because like they've said in the past that there's no way these people or this criminality can thrive in a particular community without somebody, maybe the locals, aiding them. How do we address this particular issue?
Well, again, it boils down to these local vigilantes. And already the traditional rulers have been tasked, because they know everybody in their community, or supposedly so. But the point is that if you have an active vigilante system, like what we try to do in Iroham, which is my own particular village, we try to identify our youths at home and then find out what they are doing and trace their movement in a way that is not obstructive. You don't have to follow the person around and all that, but you monitor him in his leisure, what he eats, what he drinks, where he goes, and how he talks to people and all that. And it's not difficult to find anybody. And we have done some traditional thing in my place to say the village, all the people in the village gathered and said whoever has his hand in this thing should be followed by the local gods and all that, a traditional way of looking at it. And I think it's important that every other community should do the same, because like they say, these people are not spirits. A man maybe who is a petty trader suddenly starts riding a jeep or something like that without any income that suggests he can do that. You should start wondering what he's doing and follow it up. That's what I think should be done.
All right. We want to really appreciate you for your time this morning on the program, the platform. Thank you very much, Navy Captain Christopher Osondu, retired, for joining us on the platform.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
My pleasure.